So these are my honest thoughts on F1 Manager 24 as one of the most popular YouTubers on the original F1 Manager game. And I'm going to be completely honest with you, my viewers. F1 Manager 23 was a complete failure. Commercially, it was a failure. The additions were not enough to justify the full price. You can see here the stats compared to the original F1 Manager game. And I said this in my first honest impressions video of F1 Manager 23. So I'm going to be just as honest with you this year. I'm going to tell you what's good about F1 Manager. I'm going to tell you what's really good about what they're adding this year, including, I think, one massive difference that could change the whole perspective. But I'm also going to tell you the bad things. I'm going to tell you the particular Achilles heel with F1 Manager that I find frustrates so many people who play the game that they want to get a refund or they just get really angry. But let's get into it. This is the new trailer for F1 Manager 24. They released a 30-second trailer. Got a load of influencers to sort of hype it up. Same thing as we saw last year, same playbook. And they did one big announcement, and then there's some other hidden stuff. The one big one is that finally we will be able to create a team. This is something I've been asking about since the original F1 Manager. It is absolutely needed in a management game. Think of Football Manager or loads of other management games, because management games are like a sandbox. They are a playground for us to tell our story, I firmly believe. They're not for us to be like a licensed character in a big licensed universe. It's very restricted what we can do. No, it's sandbox. It's about our imagination, like imagining we're a team principal. It goes back to when we were kids sort of playing with toy cars. So they're finally adding that. You can see here, by the way, looks like that was a new camera, and the graphics have always been really good in F1 Manager. So it's complete credit to the guys and girls at Frontier for the graphics. So create a team is here. That means that we can live that dream. Maybe you want to be Andretti, but you can live that dream of like, what if I had loads of money like I'm Papa Stroll and I can create my team? Here are the liveries, by the way. So much paint on them. Very unrealistic. We know that these should be all carbon fiber and a tiny bit of paint. But anyway, so create a teams here. That's great. The other thing they're talking about in very loose terms is AI improvement. AI is a buzzword. Not just drivers on track, but also in terms of other teams poaching your drivers, poaching your staff. Now, if you remember the original F1 Manager, I did loads of videos where I showed you how to break the game. I showed you how to win races with Latifi because you could completely break the AI. They didn't really do too much to fix that in 23, although 23 was better. And it looks like here there's not going to be too much difference in 24, even though talking about it. Why do I think that? Well, arguably the biggest difference that it's going to make for you and for me, people that are actually paying for the game, is the price is now, I think, £24.99, $29. So it's sort of a budget title, a bit like Le Mans Ultimate did with their early access. This is massive. One of my biggest criticisms last year was that it was, some people said it was a scam. I think it was a rip-off to ask people to pay that much money for a game that had virtually no additional features over F1 Manager 22. In fact, when I was doing my initial impressions video, I was saying they need to add team switching. Even more important than create a team, you need to have team switching. Again, imagine F1 Football Manager where you can't change teams. They didn't announce it. It wasn't part of the game. I was trying to kick off about it, and then as part of the initial hype cycle, they said, okay, actually, we've listened, we're going to add it as a future update. And I think that made the game really enjoyable for a lot of people. I've got some more stuff I want to talk about in this video about things they should add. Let's talk about the Achilles heel. F1 Manager is such... I've rarely played a game like this that is so style over substance. It's so superficial. And the best example of this is the setup system that I'm showing you on screen now. Like, this didn't really change from F1 Manager 22 to F1 Manager 23. And it's completely not based on reality in any way. You can game it. I make videos every year on how you can get 100% setups easily so your drivers just drive faster. So make sure to subscribe if you want to see that. But it's not based in reality. It's not based in reality in any way. It is so stupidly unrealistic that it sets the whole tone for the game as this is an arcade game. And we've got the license, so it all looks like official, and you've got the music and you've got the trailer. But when you actually get into the management, there's no substance in it. And it was similar with the tuning or the upgrades on your cars, but the driver preparation and setup is so idiotic. And the fact they haven't said they're going to improve it, I think means they're not going to improve it, because the game is coming out as a budget title. Why is it coming out as a budget title? because they know there was so much, bad feedback last year about it being so expensive. So this year, rather than add more features, they have lowered the price. You're still going to have this Achilles heel. And I don't blame them. It's a difficult situation for Frontier. If you read the public statements, and I think the senior producer on the game left yesterday. If you read the reports, the game has not been profitable, as I showed you. That's no secret. And this should be my dream game. This should be my favorite game that I am playing every day, making YouTube videos about every day. So it's so painful that it just misses the mark because there's so much opportunity. I've been addicted to Football Manager during big periods of my life, absolutely addicted. I could run through my whole teams, the top goal scorers from this year, that year. He was player of the season. He really stepped up. And I would love to do the same journey in F1 Manager. I'd love to have the new gens come in and say, oh, this guy took him to be a 9-time F1 champion. But it's so difficult to get there because the game has no substance. Look at this. These things you're seeing on the screen have no resemblance in reality. So the fundamentals of the game are not there. There's other things they could add, by the way. And this is a big feature I think they need to add. So one small feature is I think they should add driver, more press conferences and interviews and whatnot. They need to add this feature. This is the killer feature, Frontier. I'm giving it to you for free. They need to have a feature where you can get 10 team principals, do an online race, you can't fast forward, you can't skip, and it's multiplayer, and you've got 10 team principals, each managing 2 drivers. Imagine how electric that would be. That would be absolutely insane. The buzz about that would be huge. Loads of people would be streaming it, loads of videos, all this kind of things. You're going to get a lot of FOMO. You're going to think, hang on, I want to play this game because I want to be part of that. You might have, engineers F1 engineers coming in and playing it, and you can play against them. That is the key killer app feature. I don't think that's a secret to them. I think they will know that that's really, what would take this game into the stratosphere. For whatever reason, they're not able to do it. And if you read the Frontier statements, this game hasn't made money. I think it's their last year of the license, they say. And I don't think we're going to get another F1 Manager game. I think the license is going to go. Maybe someone like the people who make Motorsport Manager will pick it up. That seems to be just a much more deeper game. We've seen that Nacon, who make Test Drive Unlimited, are making a sort of management game. We've got GT Manager, they make a management game. But that would be the killer feature, and we don't have it. The game is going to look pretty much identical to what you see on screen, with maybe another camera angle. And it's just not enough. It's just a bit of a fumble. There's so many talented people at Frontier. They make Elite Dangerous one of my favourite games of all time. A game that I backed all the way back. I really wanted to see it. Incredible Space Pirate trading game. So many talented people. And for whatever reason here, I don't know if it's Formula 1 being really controlling, or just the game itself just doesn't have enough of an audience. Because if you look at the stuff that's come out today, as I make this video, none of it has really got any real traction. I know we've got the hardcore fans here because you'll see my videos on F1 Manager explaining how everything works and the ERS and the setups and the strategy. But maybe it's a game that just doesn't quite have that broad reach, and I feel terrible. I feel really bad. I'm not. There's going to be lots of YouTubers who are sponsored and paid and influenced or whatever to today hype up this game. But I'm just telling you the reality is that I think this game is pretty much done. And if you've got F1 Manager 23, is it going to be worth buying F1 Manager 24? I don't know. I mean, it depends how you value money. If £25 is no object, then yes, go for it. But if you're someone who's really deciding what game to get, it's I might be the only person saying this on YouTube. I'm just cutting through the fat here. This is F1 Manager 24. It's going to be pretty much the same game as last year, with some improvements, like create your own team, absolutely great. Cheaper price, good, but the reason it's a cheap price because there can be no additions. I'm missing some massive features, like an actual in-depth way to do driver preparation and setup and have drivers sort of get faster and manage them, and also no multiplayer. So there we go. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe if you did. Lots more F1 Manager videos coming regardless, from my honest view, and I will see you next time.